Hey, this is Bon Diesel doing a quick little video here for you. Just wanting to point out something because I'm way too big of a fanboy for this game and I'm way too much of a nerd. But I noticed that we have a new job listing on Massive's website. If you listen to my podcast, I recently talked about how there were 0 positions open for Division 2, despite the fact that Division 1 and 2 had listings on this website as far back as I can remember. So what I have found today is that there is a new position for a unnamed project on the Massive website. So something to point out, there have been listings for an unannounced project for a while, but they've been in Stockholm. And I do not believe, and I could be wrong, that Stockholm works on Division at all. So here, this is unique and interesting to me because this is based in Malmo. Now, if we scroll down here, it's for a game designer position. It specifically looks like it's focused on AI. And it talks about, it's really generic. And that's how these tend to be. So it talks about being a AAA game. If you go down, this is a permanent position. So it's not just a contract. It's not a short-term job. A lot of generic stuff about here, like, oh, you should be passionate about games, blah, blah, blah. This is where it gets a little more interesting if you read through it. So this person's responsibility will be working on enemy archetypes and non-hostiles, and then action adventure game. I'll touch more on that in a moment. Working with a team to define, a combat core loop. We've heard these terms a lot with Division 1 and 2. This is going to be part of an AI team. Again, it kind of goes on and on. It's really generic. They're not giving away anything too big. The one thing I will say is here in the qualifications section, it talks about experience working on AI and NPCs in shooter or action adventure games. And then specifically, absolute passion for playing and making games, especially RPG and action adventure games. Beyond that, there isn't really anything that telling. It mentions all of their other, but this is just kind of a generic bottom here. But that right there gives me some indication that I think this might be a job position that is open for the Division 3 or some type of division project post the Division 2. If we think back, like I said during that podcast I mentioned, this was around the time in Division 1's life that I believe they really started working on Division 2 heavily, about a year and a half in. I know they said that they were working on it right after Division 1 came out, but I'm under the impression they really started cracking down about a year and a half in, when they really started working on Division 2. So that puts this in about that time frame. Now, if they're hiring for this now, I don't really know what that means. I don't know if Massive has to post all of their job listings, even if they're going to fill it internally. I know some businesses are like that. I know the state government in the United States is like that. Obviously, Massive is a privately held company in Sweden, so I don't want to assume that. Another question is, I've been speculating that if there is a Division 3, it's coming in 2022, and it will be announced in March of 2021 after Season 4 of the Division 2 wraps up. If they're hiring this position now, which seems like a pretty crucial position, I don't know if that still lends itself to a 2022 release, because you would be looking at, I don't know, if they hire it by the end of the year, that person wouldn't probably be getting started until the beginning of 2021. And I don't know if this particular position would want to be filled that late in the game. So we'll have to see. I don't know enough to know whether that's a thing or not. But nonetheless, it's exciting. It gives me a little bit more hope. I've been kind of talking about lately how it doesn't seem like there's people in the right spots and so on and so forth to be working on Division 3. But this definitely gives some indicator that maybe I was wrong. I certainly hope I am. If I catch any more information or see anything else get posted, I will make a video. I will be on stream a couple times this week on Twitch. Look up Bon Diesel. There will be a new podcast this weekend. Check out the EchoCast, where I will talk about this and anything else that may come from it. And I have saved this just in case it gets taken down, which I doubt it will. I'm sure this was meant to be posted. So beyond that, until next time.
1, 2, 3.